Hi, this is Sarah Knotts, Director of the Brunswick County Board of Elections. I am here to give you a quick tour of the interactive map that we've launched today, which allows you to search for your address to see what changes might be coming if proposed precinct boundary and polling place changes are put into effect. Just to give you a little overview, we are in the process of doing a thorough assessment of precinct lines and polling places in Brunswick County. This has not been done in more than a decade, and Brunswick County has seen exponential growth in the past several years, and so we really needed to take a thorough look at the capacity of our polling places and precinct lines to see if we can make access to polling places easier for the voters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump right in and I'm going to search for a few addresses, and I'm going to show you how you can enter your address to see what changes might be coming and how you might be impacted. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. What we have here is an interactive map that has a search feature. So right up here, you are going to be able to enter your address and it will take you directly to a summary of what changes you will see. So I'm going to start by looking for an address. Let's say that I live at 8420 Fontana Lake Court in Leland. So I'm just going to start typing 8420 Fontana Lake Court, and you'll notice I didn't have to type the whole address in, and this is important. You might want to go a little bit slow to give the system a chance to populate and show you what it thinks the address should be. Because let's say you put in Fontana Court and left the lake out, it probably wouldn't find it. So you do want to allow the system to show you the address it recommends. So I'm going to click right on that. And it's taking me right down to my address, and it's going to give me a summary box showing me information about my precinct. This information is telling me that my current voter precinct is Belleville 1 and my proposed voter precinct is Belleville 2. So if the changes being recommended go into effect, my precinct would change from Belleville 1 to Belleville 2. So if you are like most voters, that doesn't mean anything to you. So I'm going to show you how you can dig a little deeper to find out how these changes will impact you. So this first link here is a link directly to our precinct evaluation summary. And that summary goes down the line and outlines changes that are being proposed to each and every precinct and polling place in the county. So if you click on that evaluation summary, and I've already got one open here, it will open a PDF document with our precinct evaluation summary. The second page of that is a table of contents that is clickable. So if I know that I'm currently registered in Belleville 1, my proposed new precinct is Belleville 2, I could click on either one of those and be taken directly to the information about that specific precinct. So I'm going to first start with my new information, because I guess I don't really need to know what my current information is. I want to know how what the change is going to be. So I'm going to click on this link for Belleville 2, and it brings me right down in the document to the information for Belleville 2. And it's telling me that there's a change in boundaries. And it tells me where the polling place is. So the current polling place is the Leland Cultural Arts Center. We are not recommending a change in that. So if I am pulled into this precinct, I will be voting, if I vote on election day, at the Leland Cultural Arts Center. It also gives a summary of the changes that were made to this precinct's boundaries. It tells me the polling place address. So if I'm not familiar with the location, I could look it up to see how close it is for me. The current number of voters, how many voters are being added or subtracted from this precinct, as well as the new total of registered voters if these changes go into effect. We do have a map down here, and let me explain how these maps work. So this is a precinct showing the boundary for Belleville 2, precinct 4B in yellow. And so I lived right in here in Brunswick Forest. And so what has happened is I was registered in the green, which is the current boundary for Belleville 1. And the Board of Elections is proposing this new yellow line, which will pull this small area in green over into this Belleville 2 precinct boundary. So that is the change being proposed, is we're just shifting the line right down here to pull those voters in Brunswick Forest into the Belleville 2 precinct. So if I am okay with that, I would want to probably tell the Board of Elections that I was okay with that. And likewise, if I'm not okay with that, and I really was happy with the Belleville 1 precinct, and if I wanted to see where I used to vote on election day, say I voted early or am new to the area and had never voted on election day, I used to vote at Belleville Elementary School. And you can see that polling place address right there. So you can kind of compare, is the new polling place going to be easier for me to get to? Do I want to stay at the old precinct? And so you can really use the information provided on that interactive map to look up the information about your current precinct and your proposed new precinct. So you've done your analysis, you've decided that this change works for you or doesn't work for you. What we want you to do is we want you to come and tell us about it. Tell us what you think. So we have a public comment survey, which we have linked directly on that interactive map. And we are taking public comments until 5 o'clock on Thursday, April 15th. And the reason we are closing that survey at that time is that allows the board members and staff to review all of the comments received before we have our meeting, where we will consider these changes, and that meeting will be on Monday, April 19th at 10 o'clock in the morning in the County Commissioners' Chambers. So if you have opinions about the change being proposed to your precinct or even countywide, any comments are welcome. We want you to tell us, so you'll give us your name and your organization. If you represent an organization, you would include that too. So say you're a member of one of the parties, or you are part of the League of Women Voters or something like that. If you want your comment to be attributed to you and your organization, include that here. And then this is just a free form box. You can type out anything you want to tell us how you feel about those changes. I wanted to go back to this interactive map, and I want to show you a precinct that doesn't have a change and talk a little bit about why it's also important to review that precinct summary. So let's say I live at 1876 Flowers Way Northwest in Longwood. You notice again, it pulled up what it thinks I'm looking for. So I'm going to click on that. And it has zoomed me into that address. And so you'll see here, this looks very similar to the information box we just looked at, but you will notice my current precinct and my proposed precinct are the same, Longwood. So that sounds great, and it sounds like there's no changes, but we do have several precincts that we are proposing a change in polling place, and this happens to be one of them. So we encourage you, once you look your address up, to click on the evaluation summary link, and that may open up at the bottom in a way that you have to click on it. So I've just clicked on it, give it a minute to open. You're back on this main page for the precinct evaluation summary. That precinct was Longwood. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to click on Longwood. And it's going to take me directly to the information for my precinct. So it's telling me there's a change in polling location and boundaries. Well, I wasn't affected by the boundaries because my current precinct and proposed precinct are the same. This is telling me that the proposed polling place will be right down here, Union Elementary School. So this precinct used to vote at Grissettown Longwood Fire and Rescue. We have determined that the polling place should be changed to Union Elementary School. That is primarily due to parking availability and size of the facility. The fire and rescue squad also doesn't have climate control, so if it's raining or hot or cold, there's no way to keep our precinct officials, our voters comfortable, but more importantly, the humidity that may come with weather changes can affect the paper that's read into the voting machines and things like that. So we have assessed that, and we're recommending that this polling place be changed to Union Elementary School. And again, we have a map posted where you can see what the proposed new boundary is for Precinct 17. It's outlined in yellow. We are actually proposing to pull a portion of that precinct out right here, and we're going to create a new precinct just because this precinct was so wide. Same as with all of the maps available. We do have larger PDF versions that you can open. And you'll see here, if you click that to view the PDF version, you can zoom right in. And if you can identify where you live there, you can see how you would be impacted. You'll see the more I zoom in, the font is still very crisp, so you can use that to assess what the changes are. And that's a very nice map, I think, to look at. So in summary, we have this great tool, this interactive map. We encourage you to use it. Come put in your address, see what the changes might be. Once you've done that, we encourage you to go and fill out the public comment survey. I do want to let you know that the Board of Elections will be holding a public meeting. We will be presenting our findings of the survey. We'll be looking at all of the changes in detail again. And we may be finalizing those changes at our board meeting on April 19th. That meeting is being held in the commissioners' chambers to accommodate more people that might want to come, but we also have a direct link to watch that meeting. We're going to live stream it. So on our website, brunswickcountync.gov/elections, you see Precinct Evaluation Project. And here it comes. Right there, you'll see information about the meeting is right here in this last bullet point. And so this is actually a hyperlink, this Microsoft Teams, and it will open to allow you to watch our board discuss this at that board meeting on April 19th. If you have questions about the proposed changes, if you don't understand something, if the packet's not clear, I encourage you to please reach out to our office. You can call me and ask for me. Again, Sarah Knotts, Director at the Board of Elections. Our telephone number is right over here on our website, so you can call us at 910-253-2620, or you can send us an email at elections@brunswickcountync.gov. I hope that this was helpful. I hope you will go look at your address on that interactive map, and I hope it helps you make a decision about whether the changes we propose making would be good for you and useful, or if you think there's a challenge with them. All right. Thanks so much. Thanks for listening. Bye.